Well, we're back. I know it's been a while. And, yeah. So I thought I'd give you guys a little video that you can enjoy. And you know what that means. It means that there is pain incoming. So, get ready. Today, we are going to be covering all the variants, realistic variants, and characters of the 501st Legion. Simple as. In the words of one wise Big Bazza. Whoever doesn't get that reference should be shot. So, this is going to cover everything. Animated figures, I might show some at the end, but because I have not much as interest in those in particularly, there might be some omissions, unintentional. So we'll begin with the standard troopers, and you know what that means. So here is our standard 501st Legion trooper. Now this isn't the first one chronologically released, but it is the most commonly found variant. It is the Revenge of the Sith Super Articulated Clone Trooper mould, Phase 2, remember that, kids. It's this mould that you see the most, and I'd say it is the superior figure that you would find. It renders pretty much all the other moulds superfluous that they've used previously to this one, and before that, you know, as much as I'd like to say that there is some limitations to this mould, I think all around it is one of the best ever used, if not the one. So it is pretty standard. As you can see, the detailing on the back, I know there's not as much focus as you'd possibly like, it's a bit whitewashed, isn't it? So obviously does not really leave out any particular details that might be of any pertinence. Obviously on the back plate it has the correct blue, and on the sides you can see it does not leave out the stripes. There's some present battle damage, and which you can see on the shoulders and some of the torso area. So I would say overall a really good figure. Next up we have the Vader's Legion Trooper, as it was advertised in the Revenge of the Sith line. This one has a very particular mould, a very unique mould, where there is only swivel joints in the balls, swivel joints on the elbows and the shoulders, obviously the wrists, but there is a ball joint at the hips and at our knees and ankles. So where he lacks in arm articulation, he can do some incredible firing poses when it comes to running and how we hold something, you know, various weaponry. As for the head sculpt, it's the standard, you know, done for public exposure Tamara Morrison head. You know, he's traumatised a few children at the local park. Definitely not a sexual predator. Hasbro's head sculpts, as you know, as I've detailed in every single one of my fucking videos, aren't the greatest. So there is the Vader's Legion Trooper, and before we move on, we'll give you a shot of the back. Like the previous one, it does not neglect that pertinent detail which delineates many 501st Troopers from other ones, which is the blue back panel, you know, on the armour plate. Unfortunately, they forgot to put some body glove detailing just below, you know, on the back of the shoulder area, but apart from that, it's very good. As you may have noticed, there is some battle damage detailing, you know, scorch marks, etc., just the same as the previous one. Now we have the 30th Anniversary Collection Battlefront 2 Clone Pack, Standard Clone Trooper, as it's just advertised as, designated as, whatever terminology you fucktards want to use. This one has the 327 Star Code Trooper mould from the Evolution set. So, very old mould, 2005, and it's not has the range as the, you know, standard trooper that we first discussed, obviously. So, there's not really much to talk about. The detailing is the same. Back is the same. I guess scorch marks, other battle damage features are relatively the same. This is what makes this figure special. That fucking head sculpt, okay? He is high, okay? He's on a speedball, whatever you want to fucking call it. How much marijuana has he smoked? How much? I don't know. Fucking hell. So here are the two Jet Trooper variants. Now, you may be wondering, why? It's only a single release in the Battlefront 2 clone pack. Well, there was a release subsequently in the Legacy Collection. And the one on the right is the Legacy Collection, and the one on the left here is the 30th Anniversary Collection. Now, the one on the left I've had for a few years, as you can fucking tell. But, you know. Now, their articulation is the same one as the 41st Elite Landing Platform Troopers on the Clone Attack on Coruscant Battle Pack. So they have swivels at the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, okay? And they have ball joints at the knees and the ankles and just a swivel at the hips. There's not really, I think there might be a swivel in the torso area, but the jetpack kind of renders the mobility kind of useless. There's no utility in it because of the weight displacement, because actually the jetpack's quite kind of heavy on this figure. Speaking of the jetpacks, here are the jetpacks on our two Jet Troopers. Now, these are some of my favourite figures that I own. I mean, the detailing is actually pretty spot on. They have the green visor, and they have, obviously, the jetpacks. There is some differences. However, I don't think they're actually inaccurate, because the Jet Troopers in the Battlefront 2 video game didn't have the stripes on the legs. So, take that as you wish, if you think that's an incongruence with the old 2005 Battlefront 2 designs, or fault on Hasbro. Who fucking cares? Post your worthless opinion in the comments below. I will be sure to read it and respond, probably. So, yeah, the only thing that they didn't actually include are these kind of like straps, these that you'd have on suspenders, almost like suspenders. Now we have our Airborne Troopers. Now I think this is the best, okay, objectively the best stylistic choice Hasbro has actually produced. Because there is no source material for these characters. These are purely the machinations of 2007 Hasbro, and I've got to hand it to them. These are incredible in their aesthetic. I can't articulate how fucking good these look, apart from the, you know, sex offenders register appeal to the head sculpts, you know.
Stroking nonce!
But, I'm never going to stop that fucking joke. No matter how many times anyone tells me, they can get fucked. Brutally. So, these figures are essentially as articulated as the 327 Starcore Trooper mold. You know, they have a ball joint at the head, ball joints at the shoulders, elbows, swivels at the wrist, swivels at the waist, swivels at the hips, ball joints at the knees, and ball joints at ankles. Here's a, you know, they have very good detailing. So, as you can see, the legs have battle damage, backs have some element of battle damage. Obviously, they didn't neglect to put the colour on the back plates. They have blue trim on their canners. So Hasbro really did produce a winner. These are highly sought after, and they're not incredibly expensive, but you won't really get them for cheap. And sealed, they are around £40 to £70, but no one really buys ones in the £70 end because the people who are listing them have a few extra chromosomes. Now we're on to our commanders. So first off, we have Commander Bo. If you don't know, Commander Bo, there is not too much source material on him, but all we know is that he accompanied Darth Vader in very early missions after Order 66. So he's kind of a mysterious character. There's not really much known about him. Obviously, he's based off the Bly mold, so he has the macro binoculars, the pauldron, and the camera, and his articulation is essentially ball joints at the head, shoulders, elbows, swivels at the wrist, swivels at the waist, nothing at the torso, ball joints at the knees, and ball joints at the ankles. Obviously, you can move the macro binoculars, and there you go. Now, Hasbro did actually forget to put the blue detailing on the back panel. Obviously, that camera comes with an extra thermal detonator. I don't know why they included that, but what can you do? Now we have Commander Rappo. Now, Commander Rappo here is the commander who led the assault on the Jedi Temple in 19 BBY. And unlike the figure in the movie, he is just seen as a regular clone trooper. I think in Kessel, in the Republic comics from Dark Horse, he did have his pauldron, but the greatest way that you can delineate Commander Rappo in figure form from a regular trooper is with the pauldron. And if you did not know, he uses the same mould as the other normal trooper, so it's a Revenge of the Sith Super Articulated Clone Trooper Phase 2 mould. The way you can tell the difference between the two is the weathering at the feet, whereas the other one has the lack of weathering on the feet. There's not much I can talk about with this one, other than the fact that it is pretty much the same as that one, but it's got a fucking camera, so you're looking at another reuse here from those lazy bastards known as Hasbro. Now we have Commander Vil. Now, what do you think I'm going to say about Commander Vil? Nothing really particular, nothing of that much value. But there's not really much to know about him. He died through Vader's hand because he could not reveal any information that Palpatine had, directed to him in regards to the termination of Vader if any circumstances arise in which he would not conform to the Emperor's demands. And I think he demised on New Plinth, so... But other than that, there's not really much I can bring up at the moment. I'll have an annotation. Now, he uses the Felucia Trooper mould. He is that type of commander, so apart from that, he's the type with fire, and the Coruscant commander, and Captain Garley of the 327th Star Corps, present in the Betrayal and Felucia battle back from the 30th anniversary collection. So obviously, his articulation, ball-jointed head, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed elbows, swivel wrist, swivel waist, ball-jointed knees, ball-jointed ankles, and swivel hips. So there you go. I cannot show you what he looks like from the back, because obviously there's a fucking seal in the way. So, there we are. Now, we have the two omissions, so they would be the Jedi Temple Assault Trooper, which is just the Revenge of the Sith quick draw mould, and the 30th Anniversary Collection re-release of the Vader's Legion Trooper, which is just that figure, but entirely clean. Now for the animated figures, we have the Jet Trooper from the Green Yoda packaging line, the ARF Trooper that came with the AT-RT drive, the AT-RT, you know what I mean. The original 2008 release for the Clone Wars movie, 501st Trooper. The updated 2009 Clone Wars one that came with a Bark Speeder. The Nal 5's Echo, and the unnamed clone on the Bark Speeder. Phase 2 Rex. Yep. Red Eye and Mixer, and that's it for the animated section. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed. But I will be back this week with a new video on every single character in figure form of The Force Unleashed original, not the really horrible sequel. So I will see you there, knob jockeys.